in today's tutorial, we'll be talking about the camera raw filter. In depthly, I'm going to be showing you what all camera raw filter 2 does. First of all, how do you locate camera raw filter in Photoshop? When you go to the filter, you're going to see the camera raw filter. So click on the camera raw filter. And here we are in camera raw filter. Now quickly, we have the 9 tab in camera raw filter: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is the basic, the curve, the details, the color mixer, the color grading, the optics, the geometry, the effect, and the calibration. We're going to go to the basic tab. So let's start with the exposure. You're going to take the exposure back because you want to get more details from the brightest part. Okay, so when you adjust the exposure a little bit, you can now go to the white and adjust the white. I'm going to leave it somewhere around here. Just set the white and set the the highlight as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the darks. Now if I zoom in, you're going to see the color of a shirt, which is supposed to be black. Now sometimes when you adjust the black, it's going to adjust the overall blacks in the image, while the shadows affect the tonal part. So now I'm going to adjust this one based on the sketch she's putting on. I'm just going to bring it back and I'm going to leave the bright part like this. But on the other hand, let's take this forward. I'm going to show you what the DAs do. Now overall in the image, you are going to see as if something is actually covering the overall image, like white transparent veil. Okay, so it's the A's. When I take it forward, you see what it does. I take it backwards, you see what. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to take it forward like this. Let's zoom out, and this is what we have. And now we can now begin adjusting. And now I'm going to go to the texture. Now the texture just takes some parts and sharpen it, unlike the clarity. The clarity increases the overall sharpness. You can see what it does. Okay, but the texture takes some places and sharpen it up. So I'm going to increase it just a bit. Remember, the settings you are doing here, you need to increase it just a little. And I'm going to close the basic tab now. Go to the curve, and just like the normal way curve function, like the normal curve we have in our adjustment layer. So for that, I'm going to increase the shadows a bit and bring back the blacks. And now we can also do the same as the light and the highlight. So take this, let's just find the sweet spot, and then the highlight, I'm going to take it up a little bit, so 7. Okay, so that's okay. I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to go to the details. Now the detail sharpens and doesn't over sharpen. It just gives the correct sharpening to the image. So something like that. I'm just going to increase it a little bit more like this. And if you want a blur background, you can go ahead and do that when you're doing your editing outside camera raw filter. Okay, so now the color mixer tab. Now I'll just quickly going to explain this one. The hue, once you take this back, it looks like red or pink. When you take this forward, it looks like the orange. So taking it backwards looks like the red. Taking it to this other side, to the right, sorry, makes it looks like the color below. So let's say for this yellow, if I take it backward, it makes it look like the color below, which is the green. If I take it forward, it looks like the color above, yellow. So that's what it does. So now let's look at the photo. We have this color which is looking like the blues, and you can desaturate that. Let me zoom in and you can see what I'm talking about. That's blue. So I'm just going to go ahead, the saturation, and I think it's the aqua. If I desaturate it, you're going to see, and desaturate the blues as well. So it's gone. All right, so let's zoom out and you can see what it's doing to the image. Okay, so one thing we missed, back to the basic. Now the temperature and the tint, if you take it forward, it looks like the noon shot like this, and if you take it backward, it looks like the morning shot. So I don't want the morning feel, I want the afternoon feel. So this, let's make it hot, so like this should be fine. I love it like this. And you can adjust the tint also if you want it to look like the green, and take it forward to look like the purple. You can see what it's doing to the image. So I prefer the green to me, so just more on the green should be fine. And I'm going to close it, the color mixer, and then we can now adjust the settings. So for the orange, I want the skin. So let's go to the hue first. Now the skin, is either you want it to look like red or you want it to look like orange. Let's adjust the yellows, the green, to make it look like the yellows, so like that. And also let's just leave it at this side, or take it back a little bit to look more like the orange. Okay, so this is okay. I'm going to go to the saturation, and then I'm going to increase. The leaves is red already, so there is no need to increase it that much. I'm just going to increase it just a little bit. And then the orange, I'm going to increase it because I want more skin color from R. Increase orange and see what it does. If I take it extreme, you're going to see the details of the color it has. I'm going to bring it up somewhere around 38, should be fine. And it's just separate the subject from the background. All right. Okay, so for the yellows as well, you can increase the saturation of the yellows, and it's just going to affect the yellows in the image. Okay, for the greens, which is this one, you can see the green leaves, and for that I can increase the green and go to the hue, and let's change the hue of the green. Let's change it to somewhere yellow, and it's going to turn that to yellow. You can see. Okay, so go to the saturation, and if you want to affect the luminance of our skin, you can increase that. It's going to brighten up the skin more than the background, so something like this. You can see how it's brightening up, so I don't want that too much, just want it a little bit, and this a little bit. Let's also increase this to separate the subjects. Let's go back to the hue. Are there magentas in the image? Just bring this backwards, and also the purple. Is there any purple? No. So I'm just going to leave the color mixer, and now you can go to the color grading, and you can do some color grading. You can add some yellow. That's color grading for you, and it's still the same as the color balance and the 3D LUTs and the rest in the normal Photoshop. Optics, I'm going to talk about optics. It talks about distortion, and if you bring it backwards, distort the image, turn off the lens, take it forward, you can distort it. I'm just going to leave it at 0. Vignette, you know what vignette does? Add a bright at the edge and bring it back. So I'm just going to add a little bit. I'm going to close it for optics. For geometry straightens the image. So let's take the horizontal and take it backwards. You see how it steals the image. Normally we're supposed to take it forward, so to make her, this is the correct position of the image, +5, and you can see that position are well, but just for the integrity of the image, I'm just going to leave it at +2, and you can see this place is left out. Okay, so for the vertical position, because she's standing tilting her body to the back, you can adjust that as well, bringing this forward, and you can see, but all the same, it affects the way the down part bad. Okay, so I'm just going to reset that to bring back the full image, which is lovely like this, and offset and the rest. So I don't use that much except I'm doing head photography or retouching face portraits. I'm going to go to the effect, and effect, we just have to the grains and the vignette. The vignette is what we just did just now. The add white to the image or add blacks to the image like this. So you can just add a little bit of the vignette. Let's say -4. I don't want to introduce vignette. Okay, so for the calibration, this replicates the functions of different camera, the Canon, the Nikon, and the rest. So I'm just going to increase the red, and it's going to look more like the yellows. If you take it back, it looks more like the red in the image. So yes, this forward, taking it forward, looks more amazing than backward, and this take it backward, you just add a very nice color grade to the image, and you can mess around with the grains till where you find it more good. So I'm gonna hit OK right now, and we can quickly do our before and after over here. So these are before, you can see, and this is our after. All right, before and after, and now you can go ahead and hit OK. So now you can go ahead and edit it more with your normal editing tab, which is all this right here. So thank you guys for watching. See you in our next tutorial.